Hi, I bought another second-hand combination lock. It's an ABUS 160/50. I managed to get it quite cheap. It's a little bit beaten up, but it still works well. It's 50mm across. On the back it says ABUS 160/50, patent pending. Okay, so with this lock, if you keep pushing the dials this way, then they stop at all zeros. This is so in the dark you can know what number you're up to, and then you just count your combination, and so you can go to the right combination and open it in the dark. Okay, it works well. I really like this padlock. I can tell it's well designed. Even though it's in second-hand padlock, it still works really well. I went to the website. It says it's a chrome finish. It has a security rating of 6 out of 10. The shackle is made from hardened steel and it's double bolted. You can see the 2 slots on the shackle, and I can demonstrate that it really is double bolted if I close the shackle here so that it thinks it's locked. If I turn the dials, you can see the latch coming out, which goes into the back of the slots. It doesn't lift up because it's come and locked this slot, and this one will lock this slot, so it really is double bolted. Another thing to note, these are flat. That means that I can pull as hard as I like on the shackle, but it's not going to apply any tension to the locking mechanism. And I can show you this. I'm pulling on the shackle. I'm getting no feedback from the wheels whatsoever. And in fact, even if I put it all to zeros, let's do that. That's the right combination, and it still isn't opening until I let go and then pull again. And I can show you that in action this way as well. You can see the locking bar coming out. I can pull on the shackle, put it to the right combination. It doesn't come out. I'm keeping that tension on, and you can see the locking bar stays out because I'm pulling on it and I'm trapping it there. If I push in, release tension, it goes in and I'm able to open the lock. What this means is that the pull picking method to decode this lock will not work, but we can still get in. We can still decode this lock. What we can do is put a thin piece of metal down beside the wheels and see what we can feel. Now, what I've done here is I've cut a soda can or pop can, fizzy drink can, just with a pair of scissors. It's very thin aluminium. I can put this between the wheels. You can have a look at what's going on. One method is to put this in at the left side of the wheel. See how it doesn't go in very much? Not very much, not very much. And in fact, if I go the other side of 0, the other side being 5 away on a 10-digit wheel, that'll be number 5. You can see it finds a hole and it drops right down. So that's right down. And all the other numbers, it doesn't drop down. So what we can do is we find that hole, drops down there, drops down 5 on this wheel, and then we find all the holes in all the wheels, and then we advance them 5 numbers on until we get them all in the right place, and which would be all zeros, and the lock will open. There's another way to do this. I found that instead of putting this on the left of the wheel, if I put it onto the right of the wheel, then without having to turn it 5 numbers, I can feel a slight hole, a really little hole. It's quite subtle. This goes down a little bit, whereas if I turn it to another number, Okay, there's not much difference between that and that. It's more that I can feel it. If I scrape this along the side of the wheel, I can feel the hole. Everywhere else is smooth. Smooth, 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 smooth. But if I get to the right number, then I can feel the hole. So I can decode the right combination directly using this method. And that's what I'm going to try and do now. So the way you change this combination is you put it to the right code, pull out the shackle, and only then are you able to turn the screw. So I'm going to turn this like this. I'm going to turn it to some unknown combination. Just make sure they're all in a whole number. I think so. Then I'm going to do the opposite. I turn this back, close the shackle, and I'm going to scramble the combination again. Okay, I'm going to put all these to 0. I'm going to try my decoding method. Okay, so on the first wheel, that already feels right on 0. On this one, it's smooth, smooth, smooth. I feel something here on 6, so the next wheel, smooth. Okay, I feel something on 2, this wheel. I think that's 3, so I feel something on 3, something on 2, something on 6, something on 0. So now the shackle should open, and it does. Okay, so the code was 0623, and that's how easy it is to get into this lock. So, and I didn't use a specialized tool either, just a thin piece of can that I cut up with a pair of ordinary house scissors. So I'm not sure about this rating of 6 out of 10. Don't know how I feel about that, but other than that, it's a really nice lock. You know how I said that pulling on the shackle doesn't tension the locking mechanism, so you can't use the pull picking method. And if I change the combination, I'll change that 3 to a 5. You can see the bar coming out. This bar, it doesn't push back, so what it means is you're not able to shim this lock. It won't push the bar back. You won't be able to fit something thin, a shim around here, and push this back and pull this open. But what a shim will do is put tension on this locking bar, and with that tension you're able to feel resistance. The wheels will bind, and when it gets in a true gate it will suddenly become loose and obvious, and I've been able to pick this lock that way. I have not been able to find a way to bypass this lock. If I put in a small probe and try and find a lever to lift up, well, I just haven't been able to find one. I've had a good poke around, haven't been able to find one. If there is a lever, if it does work that way, then it might be at the back somewhere, or somewhere where I can't reach. But what I was able to do, this is a very thin specialized tool with a small hook at the end. It's 0.3 millimeters, which is about 12 thousandths of an inch. What I have been able to do is, if I put it down towards the bottom of the wheel to the back, angle down and pull out, that hook is able to hook on something, and you can see, you might be able to see that locking mechanism move slightly backwards. I can't move it all the way. Wonder if I can focus it like this. slightly moving back. I can't move it all the way back, can't open the lock this way, but I can tension it. And what I've been able to do is pull on that, turn the wheels, and decode it that way. So that's another method that I have been able to use using a specialized tool to be able to pick this lock. By far the easiest way is to probe it. If it was protected so that you couldn't do this, you could tension it using that shim method and then decoding it using the feel method. Thanks.